Mr. Chairman, and I apologize going back and forth between hearings, so if I ask a repetitive question, I apologize. We just heard that we are spending money for the tracking and characterization of near-Earth objects. Is there anything in place if we do discover a near-Earth object heading towards us? Do we have a procedure in place that would then be activated in order to, in some way, deflect that near-Earth object if it threatens the planet?
We don't have anything that we're building to deflect it at this point. We've got a defense coordination office, that does all the notifications to everyone if we see something coming, but I don't, we'd have to see what we would do at that point. We're not building anything related to that.
Okay, I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, one of the things we need to do is to insist that we actually have, if a near-Earth object is spotted coming to the Earth, could kill millions of people, if not even worse, that we should demand someone, whether it's NASA or whoever, actually have a system where we say, punch the red button, it's time to go on this particular emergency. We need to do that. Now, let me ask you about space debris. We know that we've got, there's lots of examples. I mean, with the debris shield, I mean, was it last March was floated away from the space station. It was a debris shield. So we know that debris is actually causing some problems already. We know the space shuttle was postponed a couple times for space debris accumulation. Do we have anything in place where we have a plan that will, in some way, deal with that problem, meaning to remove space debris?
Yeah, so obviously micrometeorite debris and other debris up there is actually our number one risk for our human spaceflight missions in terms of the area where they are. And so we track it. We have a great system for tracking it, as you would say. What we've been working on in the agency is simply, we haven't worked on any systems to go remove it. We've been working on some of the technologies that might be able to do it, but it's a very low-level effort. I don't want to imply that it's a big effort, but that's what we've been doing.
Well, I would suggest that because it threatens the viability of our entire system, I would hate to think that if we're spending, by the way, what is the cost going to be the cost of the SLS rocket in the end per rocket?
Let me get back to you on that number. We just only because we just finished an activity that they're briefing me on next month.
Is it going to be over $1 billion? Or?
I haven't seen the number, sir, honestly.
All right.
So,
okay, well, let me just note that my guess, if we're spending several $1 billion a year now, these rockets are going to be phenomenally expensive. I would hate to think of a little bit of space debris coming along and negating $2 or $3 billion worth of spending on an SLS rocket. So I would think those are, whether it's planetary defense, we ought to have a system in place. We ought to get serious about space debris before space debris starts hemming us in so much that it's put restrictions, costly restrictions, on our own space program. I would think that this should be an international effort. And have we had any type of international meetings on space debris?
I think there's several things in place that we're required to do, like deorbiting second stages and things like that that are discussed internationally.
But we haven't had some sort of a major meeting where people get together and say, what can we do to clear the space debris as an international effort?
Not that I know of, unless we've done something through the UN COPIA stuff. I'd have to, but I'll get back with you on that one. I'll certainly take that one for the record and let you know.
And finally, let me just note about earth science. There are so many other people that can analyze what's going on the Earth. I don't see any reason why we should turn. I love the Hubble telescopes and the various things that are aimed outward, but I have no reason to believe that people in NASA have any more expertise at trying to study what the Earth is about. They're supposed to be out studying what the universe is about, and I would think that we should, Mr. Chairman, move away from funding of Earth science missions and start focusing on the real mission of NASA, which is the missions who are aiming into space. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for that line of questioning.